When I was younger, you used to tell me stories about when you were a kid and when you lived in Wingham, you lived in a house that showed some characteristics of something more supernatural. I was wondering if you could expand on that.
When I was a kid, one of your uncles was getting married, and we had bought this big, huge house. It used to be owned by the town blacksmith, built in the 1800s. It was big enough that we were able to subdivide it into a duplex. And your uncle that got married was living in the one half with his new wife, and there was me, one of your aunts, your great-grandmother, and your grandparents all living on the other half. And at the time of the wedding, we still owned the other house, so there was enough room to put up all the relatives and stuff for, the pleasantries of the wedding. And for some reason, I was the only kid that was at this new house, and all my cousins and stuff were down at the other house. I was pretty sure they were getting to stay up late and have a good time, and I was being sent up to bed, and I was just in kind of a grumpy mood. And I was sitting cross-legged on my bed in my pajamas. I had my blankets wrapped around my shoulders, and there was a light shining in the hallway, from the hallway, so that, if someone wakes up in the night, they can find their way to the washroom. And my closet door was open. And I remember just sitting there, and I'm listening to all the grown-ups downstairs are having cake and tea and coffee and stuff like that. I'm just listening to their conversation, and I'm just in a bad mood. And everyone has these threshold moments in life, and they're usually like significant events, like, when you finish public school and you start high school, when you graduate high school, when you get married, when you graduate college or university, have a degree. For me, it's a threshold moment no child should have, an awareness of their own mortality, because kids don't think of things like this. But as I was sitting there in my room, light shining in the doorway, I can clearly see there is nothing there. Coming from the closet towards the bed was the slow, steady, scuffing sound of footsteps. The closer they got to the bed, the more this increasing sense of dread. If I did not run, I would die there. I believe that to this day. Something was coming to kill me. And I took off running out of that room, screaming up a storm, almost tripped at the top of the stairs, was falling headlong for a second until I was able to grab the railing. My father is a Korean War veteran, and one of my uncles that was there is a Second World War veteran. Now, this is back in the day before gun laws and everything. You had the redneck gun rack up on the wall type thing. You could have gun racks in the back of a pickup truck, total redneck stuff. Well, these two men, both of them experienced hardened combat veterans and decorated veterans, they had guns loaded and were going through that house like something out of a war movie, because they thought there might have been some kind of homeless creeper or something hiding in the house while it was empty before we moved in. And they thought there was a child molester or something in the house. It was an actual person. That was the first indication we had.
In the morning, 'cause I will be gone. Don't feel bad for me, I want you to know. Deep in the cell of my heart, I will feel so glad to go.